3D printing level 3 part 2. This is one of the options. The other option is the keychain. This is the shoe Dubrae. So if you want to make a Dubrae, let's do it. Go ahead and click create new design. And under create new design, again, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and name the file. And I'm going to write Dubrae. Okay. We're going to start off with a rectangular prism. This cube right here, bring it in, click it. I'm going to zoom in so it's easier for you all to see. I'm going to click on the dimensions, and we want it to be 35 millimeters wide. Now this is important because this is actually going to fit in between your shoelaces on your shoe. And so most shoes, they have to have a certain size. So 35 millimeters is just right. And we're going to do 10 millimeters in terms of the width. Click enter. Now this is a little too tall. We don't want it this tall, right? We're going to put it at, let's do 5 millimeters. There we go. So now you should have something that is 35 by 10 with a height of 5 millimeters. All right, next step is to go ahead and we're going to create some holes on this. We need the shoelaces to go through the Dubrae, one on each side. So we need to make two identical holes. So the holes are going to be 4 millimeters by 6. And the height can stay the same because it doesn't really matter. These are going to be for a hole. All right. I'm going to go ahead and drag it sort of where I want it. I'm going to click the top view here so I can see it from the top, and then click this perspective view here. And that gives me a really nice view of exactly where it is. I'm going to go ahead and select just the hole. Control C is copy. Control V pastes it, makes a copy of that. Now you see I have the identical thing. Now I have the exact same thing, and I'm just using my arrows from the side to side to move it to the other side. That looks pretty good. Okay, you can also copy and paste up here on this menu right here. Okay, but I just did the keyboard shortcut. So now I have two. If I rotate it, you will see there they are. That's perfect. Okay, and finally, we also need to actually, let's go ahead and join these right now. I'm going to go ahead and click and drag a box around all three objects. And I'm going to click group. Now what that's going to do is put a hole in it. There you go. So the shoelace is going to go from up top to underneath and then back up top. And now we need to add our personalized text right here. So we're going to go down to our text feature. Click right there. That's pretty big, but that's okay. We're going to delete that, and I'm going to put my initials, or maybe I'll do an Air Force One. So AF1. And looks pretty good. Let's zoom out. It's way too big. So to shrink something without stretching it so it doesn't look weird like that, you hold Shift down as you're doing it, and that maintains the ratio. Okay. Now that's going to be a little bit too small, too short. So let's zoom in here. As you can see, it was kind of like down here. I couldn't really see it. It was behind there. So I need to make it taller. Remember, our Dubrae right here was 5 millimeters. So we have to put this a little bit higher. Let's put it at 7. So now it's sticking up higher. And now I'm going to go back to my top view because I want to make sure this is nice and in the center. So using my arrows, my up arrows right there, and my right arrow. That's awesome. There's also a feature where you can align things here using this this tool right here, but I didn't need to do it, so I'm not even going to bother with that. And there it is. There's the Dubrae. Let's go ahead and join the two. I'm selecting both and grouping it so that joins them together. Now it's one object. I can drag it around. I actually have red filament in my printer, so this is roughly what it will look like. Now if you had white filament, then you would change it to white to see kind of what it would look like. Okay. Now the Dubrae goes on your shoe, but you have two shoes, so you need one for each pair, unless you want to be, different and just have it on one pair of shoes. So to make a copy of it, you just select the whole thing, Control C, hold down Control, press V, and there it is. There's a copy of it. Now we don't want it to print on top of each other, so we're just going to place one next to each other like that. And we are good to go. These are ready to be printed. As long as there's a little bit of space, it'll be fine for the printer to print when they're that close. Okay. Last step here is we have to save it in order to bring it to our slicing software. The slicing software will convert it into language that the 3D printer understands. We'll save it onto the USB and print it. So the slicing software will be the next video. But to get to it, go ahead and select both objects because we want to export both. Click Export STL, and now it'll save onto your computer under the name that you gave. Tune into the next video. I'll show you how to slice, and then let's get to printing.